I'm the communication channel manager, in short, media manager, responsible for Unilever Malaysia and Singapore. When I first took over the role, I asked the chairman then who offered me the role, what is this exactly? I'm a person not very comfortable with numbers initially, so I was a bit afraid of taking up the new role. And before I took on the role, I was just a brand manager for Walls Ice Cream. For this role, it is really taking care of all the brands in terms of media planning and buying strategically and also at the executional level. So he then told me, this role can be as big as you want it to be. So that is very inspiring for me, for a young brand manager to take on a role that I can envision it, take it up to as big as I want to be. After taking up this role for the last 5 years, mainly I think we are trying to help the company to optimize media investment. As you are probably aware, Unilever do invest a lot of money in building brands. We have Sunsilk, Clear, Dove, Sunlight, Breeze, Lipton, Knorr, Walls Ice Cream. So many brands who are mass reaching for our market. So then now I really not just only optimize media investment, we also try to push a lot of innovation in order to get the best effectiveness as well as efficiency when it comes to media buying as well. That entails agency management on a day-to-day basis as well as on an annual basis, corporate negotiations, media relations, anything to help making sure that our brand team has the best media plan and execution in the market. So that's basically my role. I still remember how I took on marketing in the college. Other faculties are interesting, but I think nothing beats marketing. It's so much fun and you can do the way that you want it to be. But how I really get into the industry, I really have to thank my sister, my younger sister, who inspired me to say that, hey, why don't you just get into the advertising industry first and see what kind of clients, what kind of companies thereon you want to join. I took on her advice and went in for an interview at one of the medium-sized local advertising agencies, Spider. Later on was bought by Darcy, called Spider Darcy. I was there as an account executive, taking care of clients' advertising needs by taking a brief back to the agency, brainstorm with the creative guys, come up with a solution and present it back to the clients. So that's basically it for 1 year at Spider Darcy as an account executive. And then on, I was really lucky to get a job at Spider because what I was told by the secretary then that I was one of the 10 that was shortlisted. So clearly the GM who interviewed me, who in turn to be my immediate boss, really likes me, and he asked me for a second interview with the MD then, which is TL Yip, who has passed away. And then after a year's short stint with Spider, I then moved on to McCann Erickson, headhunted, and I was there for 1 year and 9 months. And the last 3 months was serving Coca-Cola company. It was a very challenging client. I took up the challenge. I said, no one really can bid or not be able to manage a client so long you build the trust. And I managed to testify that within the 3 months. And Unilever knocked on my door after 3 months with Coca-Cola and asked me if I were to be interested to take up a brand manager's role in the Walls Ice Cream division. Of course, because I studied marketing, I always wonder what is on the other side of the grass and took on so long a time to brief us and revert with proposal and things like that. And yes, I took on the job as a Walls Ice Cream brand manager then, responsible for Cornetto. Then later on added more portfolio and taking care of an entire impulse segment of the ice cream business. for 3 years, and then after that I move on to become a media manager. I've been around the business for coming to 10 years in Unilever. I think there are a lot of inspiring moments in Unilever. To be able to touch a lot of lives via our brand is one of the most inspiring thing that we can do in Unilever, which made us stay on for a long while. There were 2 inspiring moments so far. One, I think, is when Unilever announced their new vision to double the size of our business in the next 10 years' time, while keeping the environmental impact to half. So that is very inspiring for all of us, because as you know, if we produce a lot more, the environmental emission, the emission of CO2, the environmental impact will parallelly increase. But we said that we want to cap it, you know, so that's very inspiring. For a lot of times when other countries or even locally, when there are award-winning cases that really touches the lives, help improve people's lives, those are very inspiring moments for me. The second one would be probably the current endeavor that we are undertaking. I'm representing the company on the Malaysian Advertisers Association, who in turn appointed me to be the Audit Bureau of Circulation chairperson. So that is probably another very inspiring moment, because a lot of people are watching me as a young person, relatively, to see how I could make a change for the industry. As we are facing a very long-standing issue of the industry, I was thinking, all right, I would love to take up the challenge. And probably not to prove to others, probably a little bit of element of that, but it's also trying to prove to myself that I really, if I put my heart and soul into something, I really can make something different. And along with a lot of teamwork and getting a lot of people involved in the whole changing game, I think that's very inspiring, because I never ever dreamed that I'll be able to sit in that kind of position to change so many people's life and impact so many people's life. We are dealing with people. Of course, there are processes, products, and so on and so forth. But I think for this business, or any business that I observed so far, the most challenging task is really about people. Managing people, motivating people, anything around people is really challenging. I guess for Unilever's case would be, we have been very traditionally TV focused, and it's still a proven way to reach the market very fast and quick. But there are a large part of our audiences nowadays has embraced digital much faster than us. So to change the mindset and the skill set of people to move along with the audiences of ours probably is one of the most challenging tasks. I'm 30 odd years old, but I still find there's an age gap, a communication gap with the 20-year-olds and the teens. You know, so it's not really about the age. Really, we just need to get ourselves into the younger audience's shoes, live with them, understand them, and then move along with them. So there are some companies who have been successfully managed to tap into young minds and use it very proactively and productively. So I think for Unilever probably is have to move very, very fast, because we're still doing a catch-up game on the digital era. But we really need to move fast. And to do that, there are a lot of fears that we are trying to cope with. So we are having a time we need to hold their hands along the way. And I myself find myself not very capable in terms of digital. So, but I have to keep up myself because I'm the media manager. So I normally have to read a lot, interact with a lot with the media owners out there to really get a good perspective of what is happening and what can we do. So I think collaboration, as I speak in one of the recent panel, also saying that collaboration probably is the way to go, because no one knows everything on our own now. We really need to have a lot of partners coming along and go through this journey together. And I think that will be very exciting and inspiring. There are quite a number of things. Yeah. First, I think it's the excitement that whenever you see there's a new idea that come on board and that truly engages the consumers and bring in results, that sense of achievement is very, very strong and very motivating. To start with, I think Unilever is a very good company to work with, and I'm sure a lot of recognition out there as well. Unilever is a very good training ground where it shapes a lot of your thinking processes. I still recall how I started a job with a lot of thinking behind, shall I start with this or shall I do this first or whatever. But Unilever has such a good thinking processes that put in place to guide you. This is how we should tackle the issues, this is how we should approach certain things, and basically we just need to listen to our consumers a lot more. Not literally, but sometimes read between the lines and things like that to truly understand consumers and in a way understand human in order to be able to come up with nuggets on insights and be able to effect behavior and changes. Those are the things that we enjoy very, very much. And of course, in this role, we are able to meet a lot of people from the industry or outside the industry. Like my chairman said, it can be as big as we want it to be. So we don't just mingle around with media people, but outside of the industry to know what is going on. Because I think marketing, media role is part of marketing. To me, if you have a good idea without a good distribution of your messages and amplification of your messages, it will remain as a good idea only. People won't feel it, people don't get it. So media is really a crucial part of this marketing's job, where you need to be heard by the relevant people in order to do something, take action. So marketing as a total is very, very interesting because it really brings out a lot of fun element, let you experiment and try new things that you have never done before. Marketing as a total is very, very exciting and fun because we are allowed to try new things, and therefore, you know, a lot of never been done before kind of crazy ideas came about. And marketing not only takes inspiration from just marketing industry alone. I think a lot of inspiration was taken out of the industry, like the fashion, the beauty, architects, and so many things just around human being that could be meshed and fused, you know, into something that is related to marketing. And I think that that's something that is really huge. And I would always love to think about marketing as an economic driver, because without marketing, a lot of things that we are buying would probably be commodity. So by adding a brand name to it, you have a brand affinity, you are willing to pay more, there's a value that you are exchanging. So marketing, it's really, you know, building brands, giving back the value that people are looking for, and I think those are very interesting stuff to do. Besides, I think marketing has gone beyond the theory of 4 Ps of Philip Kotler. There's relationship marketing, there's shopper marketing, there's so many facets of marketing that we can look at to be truly effective and efficient. So that's why it's the path never stops. It always gets us going by learning new things, and I think that's one of the key traits that we will look for in whoever who wants to join the marketing, communication and advertising industry. The eagerness to learn new things. If there's one industry that will not die, it will probably be the marketing and advertising and communication industry. So do join us if you have a lot of ideas out there that you think that you want to turn them to be reality. This is the industry that you should come forward to. The second thing is, a lot of people only think that doctors and lawyers can help improve people's lives or change people's lives. You'll be surprised how marketing and communication can do the same as well, and probably be even more impactful, because we're touching everyone's lives. And a lot of Unilever examples can actually testify that. For you to join this industry, I think you will have to be a person who are very, very willing and eager to learn new things. Never assume that you know all the things by yourself and all the time. So be humble and listen and absorb as much as you can, because ultimately we are all human beings, and there are common things that will motivate us as human beings, and that's where you need to learn and be able to inspire people on. And I think that I always have this belief that if you don't invest a lot into something, you will never be able to release the joy out of it. So be prepared to invest a lot of hard work in it, because I believe once you have a lot of hard work in something, you'll be able to play even harder. And that's where the fun comes about. That's where a lot of relationships are built. A lot of people with the same common vision will come together and try to shape the world. And that is the power that marketing and communication has, and it is in your hands. I always have a joke for people. If you want to get up close and personal with some famous celebrities, probably this is the sure route to be. But joke aside, this is really an industry that you never should have missed. It's an industry which is in prosperity at this point of time, flourishing. And we need young blood like you out there who has no fear of anything. Come and join us, share the journey, and have a lot of fun.